So here's a list of saints that I'm going to read out, and I want you to guess as to what these saints have in common. Okay, so we have Saint Francis Xavier, Saint Bernadette of Subiru, Saint Agatha, Saint Francis de Sales, and Saint Angela Merici. So, bit of a random list, but these people have something in common. They have a few things in common. So first of all, they're Catholic. Secondly, they're all saints. Thirdly, this is obvious, they're all dead. Makes sense because if you want to be a saint, or for you to be declared a saint, a person needs to be dead. But here's another interesting commonality amongst all of them, is that even though all of them are dead, their bodies have not undergone the same process of decomposition that literally every body goes through after death. So these saints, along with a lot of others, belong to the club of what are called the incorruptibles, which is a group of Catholics, and only Catholics, as far as we know, whose bodies have not experienced decay after death, even after having been dead for a long time. 150 years, more, 200, 300, 400 years, at least long enough for us to, if we were to excavate or exhume their graves, we would expect to only find a box of old bones, but there we are. Their bodies are incorrupt. Now, it is the case, though, that some of these saints have a greater degree of incorruptibility than others. So, for example, Saint Bernadette of Subiru, even though she's been dead for 150 years, could probably enter a beauty competition today and be in the top 3. So she looks rather good in death, whereas someone like Saint Francis of Xavier could not enter a beauty contest and win. Probably in death, but also probably when he was alive too. Just wouldn't happen. So there's different degrees of incorruptibility. And really, the purpose of me saying this is not to necessarily convince you, the Christian, of the fact of the resurrection of the body, which is something we literally profess every Sunday. We profess the resurrection of the body and life everlasting. So we probably don't need these examples to convince us, but these smaller miracles, maybe not so small miracles, like an intact body after being dead for 100 years, these are reminders to us that God keeps his word. He's faithful and we can trust him. When he says in the Gospels, when Jesus says, I am the resurrection and the life, if you believe in me, even though you die, you will live. When he says that, we can take that to the bank. We can stake our lives on that. We can trust him. So this Easter Sunday, when the resurrection of the body is the theme of the entire weekend, so first and foremost, it's about the resurrection of Christ's body, but secondarily, our own bodies at the end of time. Let's first of all ask these incorruptible saints to pray for us. I mean, that's their job description right now. But let's also use their examples as little, and again, not so little perhaps, reminders that God is faithful and that he can be trusted.